So what's up guys, it's Ash here and welcome back to a brand new video. Now in today's video guys, we're going to be going through some new custom tactics for the new patch in FC24. A couple of comments regarding the patch, as this is my first video after the update, is that they've definitely reduced the congestion in the middle areas, but not to the extent that I would personally like. So you can now definitely play through the middle a little bit. It's now a viable option. You're not just forced to go down the wings, but I still think you're better off just going down the wings and doing cutbacks if you want to win most of your games, because that still seems to be the most effective method. But I will have to say, I at least like the fact that we can now play through the middle a little bit, because it allows for more varied tactics and different play styles, which is really good, because going down the wing all the time was really boring and it was frustrating because the middle was so congested that you couldn't play through there. I personally would like to see them, you know, reduce the congestion a little bit more in the middle areas, add a bit more attacking AI and whatnot, but right now what we've got is a good start. For everything else, though, I don't really feel much of a change. You know, I don't really notice much with the finesses or anything like that. So the good change is that you can now play through the middle, and the tactics that I'm about to show you will reflect that. So I hope you guys enjoy these 4-2-3-1 custom tactics, and let's get right into them, guys. If you guys want coins for FC24, make sure you check out MMOEXP.com. Their link is down in the description. They're very fast, they're very cheap, they're very reliable, and if you use my code Rema, you can get yourself a lovely 5% discount. Okay then guys, so starting off with the custom tactics, you'll see quite a lot has changed since my previous videos because of the update, which is really refreshing to see, by the way, but I'm going to talk through them and give you guys alternate options if you would like. So for the defensive style, I still have this on balanced. It does give you the best control over your defense, so when you want to be aggressive and press your opponent, you can do that, and then when you want to drop back and be a little bit more passive, you can also do that. So balanced is the best for that, in my opinion. You can use pressure tactics if you would like, but I don't really think it is necessary. For the width, guys, I still prefer a nice narrow and compact width to block out all of those attacks through the middle. It's now especially important since the congestion of the middle areas has been reduced a little bit, so I think it's important to keep a more narrow and compact width to keep your opponents from just running right through the middle of you. We still, however, contain a bit of width to the defensive line, so that when somebody does try and go down the wings and do one of the byline cutbacks, we can still get out to them and block it. For the depth, guys, the main change from this is that we used to use 71 depth a lot because you get the automatic press. It would completely mark every player. The middle would be super congested, and yeah, that was the main thing EA changed in the update. So now I wouldn't say you actually have to use this. It's still a viable option if you want to use it. It's just not as effective as it was, and it's not an absolute must to use. So I personally like to use a depth of 60. It does give me a bit of a higher defensive line, but my players aren't always pressing like crazy and running out of position, so 60 depth has been good for me. You can lower it to like 55 if you would like, or just use the 71 depth thing. For the build-up play, guys, as always, we still have this on balanced. It does give you the most varied and controlled form of build-up, so when you want to play slowly, you can, and then if you want to speed up and play a bit faster, you can also do that. I personally really like balanced, as I think it does just give you the most variety and control, which is why we do use that. Now, another big change, guys, is a few weeks ago, I would always suggest you guys using direct passing, and I would still say direct passing is the most meta option if all you focus on is winning games and being as efficient as possible. But for me, balanced is really good because I seem to get a lot more varied attacking AI movements, allowing me to do different things, and because of the reduced congestion and AI interference, it's a lot more viable. So balanced is really good for me because it gives me a lot more options and allows me to play a lot differently. You can use direct passing, however, and that is still working fine. For the width, guys, again, before I would have this all the way up in the 50s because the areas of the pitch in the middle were so congested that you literally just had to play down the wings and you could not go through the middle at all. Now this isn't the case, and somebody like me can attack through the middle if I would like. So I like to have a more narrow width with this formation, so I can do lots of short little intricate plays in the middle of the pitch, and it's really nice to use. It works very well with the balance, chance creation and build up as well, and when I want to go out wide, I can still do that manually. If this feels too narrow for you, you can still up your width, and that is absolutely fine. Now for players in box, guys, this is a preference thing, but I have this on 6, so I can get quite a few players into the box to finish off our chances, but we still don't overcommit everybody. And then corners and free kicks, I also have them on 1, but again, you can do whatever you like with that. Sorry to interrupt the video, guys, but I have noticed around 90% of you that watch the videos are not subscribed to the channel. channel. So if you are enjoying the content or finding it helpful, please consider adding that subscription, as it does help me out massively. Also, don't forget to drop a like on the video as well. And with all that aside, guys, I hope you enjoy. Let's continue. Now, moving on to the player instructions, guys, some of them are a little bit different to what you might be used to in this game, but because of the update, it allows me to do different things, which I really like. So along with the balanced chance creation and build up, I leave my striker on the complete default settings, even balance width. I don't have them on stay central, just to get the more authentic movement out of the strikers. Sometimes they'll drop into the side areas, allowing the wider players to cut inside and whatnot. Just seems to be really free flowing, and sometimes they do stay in the central areas. I also have them on mixed attack, so again, like the balance width, they do a bit of everything. Sometimes they'll get in behind, other times they'll drop back and come short and stuff like that. So the complete default settings on this striker have been really useful, but if you want the most meta, I'd still probably say stay central and get in behind. For the central cam, guys, I just have him on get into the box across. I don't like to restrict him all that much. The only important thing is get into the box across, so he is not hesitant to get into the penalty area. But for the other parts, guys, I just leave him alone because I don't want to restrict his movement all that much. For the cams, guys, the right cam and the left cam, I just also have them on get into the box across. I don't even have them on come back on defense, so I've got a better attacking shape when I win the ball back, because if you put these players on come back on defense, sometimes it'll make it defend in like a 4-man midfield, and your players can take a long time to adapt back into the attacking shape you want. But on basic defensive support, when you win the ball back, your players are more or less ready to go in the position. Really nice authentic movements because of that. We also have them on get into the box across for the same reason, so they don't hesitate to get into the penalty area and get more involved. Now for the right CDM, guys, I do use a more defensive minded player, and on this player I leave them on the default settings completely. Even cover wing, I leave them on the default settings because they are more box to box, so I do want them to attack and defend, so I don't restrict them all that much. And we have them on cover wing, so they'll primarily cover those central areas, but when needed they will cover the wide areas in case there is a space left. So you can do cover center and stay back if you like, but this is what I'm using right now. For the left CDM, guys, I use a more defensive-minded midfielder. So on this player, I have stay back, cut passing lanes, and cover centre. Stay back because they're obviously more defensive. We don't want them flying forward. Cut passing lanes, they always look to intercept the passes. And then cover centre, they'll primarily cover those central areas. You can put them both on cover wing if you like, but, you know, it's completely what you want, really. You can do both cover centre, both cover wing, or a mix of both. Does not really matter, guys. For the fullbacks, guys, on your more attacking fullback, I have them on balanced attack and overlap. So this is my right back. Balanced attack and overlap does allow you to get extra width out of the formation, which is especially useful when you are using a more narrow width like me. So a lot of my attacks do go through the middle, but having this wider option allows me to stretch out that opponent's defensive line and gives the players in the narrow positions more space to get into, which is really useful. It's also important to note that one of the reasons I have this CDM on cover wing is because when this fullback commits forward, they will leave a space down the wing. So sometimes this player will react and cover that wing and cover the area that they have left. For the left back, guys, my more defensive fullback, I have them on stay back and overlap. This is so I always have at least 3 defenders back at a time, but when I want to send them on a run forward like the right back, they will add that extra width. For the 2 centre backs, guys, and the goalkeeper, I just leave them alone. But yeah, guys, they are my custom tactics and player instructions for the 4-2-3-1. If you have enjoyed or found it useful, please be sure to drop it a like, sub to the channel if you are new, and don't forget to turn on notifications. And with all that aside, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.